Times are hard, and it seems everywhere, touching on a vast majority of Nigerians.
What did we get here? What did we do?
Today is an Independence Day, but unfortunately, it is no longer independent because Nigeria is still dependent on some cabals in Nigeria. Now, Showore and other caucus promised that there will be riots, protests, I mean to say, in Nigeria. And true, the protests broke out. And here are some clips that we gathered so far about the Independence Protest Day. So I want you guys to watch the compilation. We'll be right back.
No, the men are showing you can be so go. You don't make it. Maybe I can't look at the liberty one. Maybe I come of your drama. In a block, we'll get there, but there's the best thing of very back home. And I will be down lie, you'll come like that. So you could tell them if you go see you, Nick or compare. Oh, Nick or compare. All over the way, our kind of contact one, you could not have but then it's not the basic. I have COVID-19 for the toy. I have SARS for the toy. Enjoy me, I don't wish I knew. But if I have a Gorio, I'm a min to do it. If I have a Gagabano, Gorio, Baba Gorio, you know, I'm bad to go. I guess I do a bad to any guy for Cobale, I'm for Cobale, tí bá náà kọ́ tó sí mi ò ní rí mi tí bá tún bá rí mi kò ní bọ́ sí ìyá yìí ti pọ̀ jù ó ti pọ̀ jù.
Alfred, my name is Alfred. We don't know how we got here.
What group are you representing?
For now, I just want to say I'm a Nigerian. That's why I want to be identified as. And of course, one of such Nigerian youths who is fighting to ensure that we have a better country. We don't know how we got here suddenly where you now have a country where we are supposed to jubilate today and celebrate today. And we are saying, we are laying blames back to the likes of Awolowo and therefore taking the independence too early. We feel that it could have left the British some time for them to have developed this country, because our politicians over the time have failed us completely. The corruption is at its mass and we cannot continue like this. That's why you see us here out in numbers and of course to give out our grievances. What are the grievances that we are talking about? Today we are looking at why our journalists today, they can't even do their work completely. These are the questions we are asking. Why the detainees?
How do you mean journalists are not doing their work?
Because We also have now, also as we're speaking, Dr. Abati Orufa. I don't know who is actually in the studio right now to speak. Some journalists have been detained as we even speak now from the last movement of the end governance protest that we did. They are still in detention as we speak, and some also are still in detention. Why is this happening when we have a president like Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself, His Excellency, who is the chief of protesters? He taught me how to protest. He gave me the boldness on how to speak confidently to the Nigerian government. He did this 12 years ago. You need to see how Bola Ahmed Tinubu will campaign and do all he can to ensure that the Jonathan administration will do nothing but the best to deliver. Now he is dead. Why would we have a detainees, protesters detainee today in Nigeria when we have a president like Tinubu? This is not good. This is not good. If Tinubu can hear me today, he should know. He trained me. He gave me the boldness to speak to the authorities without no fear. Why is all this happening today when he is in power?
All right, would you like to join the President's Youth Confab so that you can be a part and lend your voice to the policy making and all of the decision making in the country?
I say that again quickly.
The President's Youth Confab. Would you like to be a part of it?
Of course, of course. See, what is happening here today is, any Nigerian that is with his senses, if you hear anything about protest, anything that will move Nigeria forward, leave everything you can do to come out. Today now you see, because hunger is hard in the land, you cannot even see. Before this time last year, Big Brother would have been trending everywhere. Today is not. It's like I was asking yesterday night that is it even holding and is it even ongoing? Nigerians should no longer care about even Big Brother.
Now we get today. No be so. 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 If you not say now we get today, say yeah. If you not say now we get today, say yeah. Now know what happen? As I get here, I may be the Senate president. I may be the real Akpabio. The real one. Now, Nigerian people, if you know you are hungry, say yes.
Not be seen as city of Lagos, not because they bless IT or police will not try. How can you be blessing our promotion?
Times are hard, and it seems everywhere, touching on a vast majority of Nigerians in ways that challenges them on how to cope with the current economic realities. This civil servant tells me how difficult it has been to cope with his salary, even with the new minimum wage.
I spend over 2.5 every day. And how much is my salary? It's not much. Before it's 1,000 every day. But because of this cost of living now, it's difficult. Everything is just skyrocketing. The inflation is high.
Fuel subsidy removal, fuel price hike, and a couple of other tough economic decisions by government appear to have wiped out what would have been the gains of a 70,000 naira national minimum wage. To cope with the hard times, He now has to turn to a few side hustles. Others, who have nothing else to fall back on, simply skip work, showing up once in a while.
I had other jobs. I'm a civil servant. I had other jobs. So that's how I just cope. If not, it will be difficult for me. To survive on my salary, it will be difficult.
Similar testimonies abound on the streets. Transportation fare within the capital Abuja has more than doubled, leaving many commuters waiting hours for cheaper bus rides. Others resort to walking some distance to reduce the cost.
Some people are trying from here to Federal Secretariat before they enter motor, because if they enter motor from here, they cannot be able to race when they are taking them to.
The very moment you increase 5 naira from fuel, everything automatically gets escalated. Not to talk of when you increase fuel from 190 to 600, or 600 to 955 here about.
Action Aid in Nigeria recently came up with the findings of 2 separate researches detailing how women, girls, and children are coping with the impact of inflation and the harsh economic realities. What they found is mind-boggling. Many Nigerians now resort to eating cassava leaves to stave off hunger. Andrew Memedu is the country director of Action Aid in Nigeria.
You have students that normally sometimes they will get free ride from transporters. Transporters no longer give them free ride, so they have to walk and walk. Of course, you know the 0-1 children that normally eat before going to school. Parents will tell them just go to school when you come back. So they go to school until they come back around 2, 3, or 4. That's when they eat, and that's the only meal for the day.
The research by Action Aid also shows rising cases of gender-based violence, with more men turning violent and transferring the aggression to their wives and children. According to Mamedu, many women have turned to prostitution to fend for their families. A few others now invade farms nearby to steal food crops from farmers in a manner that is unprecedented.
These are petty thieves, people trying to survive. So they don't have what to use, they don't have how to survive. So they just go to farms around their communities and they steal from farmers. So farmers are, what would they do? They cannot fence their farms. Their produce are being attacked every day.
Action Aid's report tallies with Arise News findings on the streets, and this woman's anger sums it all up.
I saw a lady that just fainted now because of hunger. She has not been eating since morning, according to her elder sister. So many people are dying silently. So please, I don't want to say more because I'm very angry, I'm very upset.
Action Aid believes the consequences are multifaceted and already manifesting in civil servants cutting corners like never before. Public hospitals and schools working in half capacity just to cut costs and cope with the hard times. So what is the way out? Experts say government quickly needs to reconsider some of its economic policies, drastically reduce the cost of governance, and invest the gains on public utilities that will genuinely improve the quality of life of the people, away from a beggarly arrangement of distributing palliatives to the hungry multitude, who mostly now trek the distance on empty stomachs. Omo Bazwai, Arise News.
All right, guys, I want you guys to tell me in the comment section, how do you celebrate this independence? Nigeria is getting more Asian, but the technology and the development is getting more decay. Abi, is it decay, Paleozoic, or dilapidated? I don't really know the age, if the other one is aging. Let's say it's also aging, not getting new. I don't really know what's going on in Nigeria, because the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria said he has no clue of what is happening in his country. He is the petroleum minister and the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the commander-in-chief. 3 positions with this man holds. He say no get clue of what they happen. Say, how did we get to this hardship? I was like, okay, maybe Baba have been in a coma, sleeping. He just woke up. But okay, let's hear what he wants to say. At the end of the day, the man blab. He couldn't even make one sentence that makes sense to Nigeria. I want you guys to watch it.
Yes, there's hardship. But how did we get here? What did we do when we had very high production? We neglected our communities. We neglected the goose that lays the golden egg. We forget to even give them common, decent standard of living. We forget to educate our children.
All the APC out there, please can you remind Baba that how we get here? Remember him that when he was campaigning, he promised that what Buhari could not do, he will do it. What Obasanjo could not do after collecting $60 billion that were made for electricity supply, he could not make a dime payment for a roasted corn for electricity supply. He will make sure that he will do it. Now, remind him that before he took over office, fuel was just 250 naira. Remind him that before he took over office, Naira exchange was just 400 to 600 sometimes. Remind him that bag of rice before he took over office was 36,000. Remind him that bag of cement before he took over office was 4,000. Remind him that electricity tariff were not hiked before he took over office. Now, remind him now that a bag of garri was sold as the rate of 18,000 naira. Now, tell him, remind him that ever since he took over office, for 18,000 from bag of garri to 80,000 times 5, that a bag of rice from 36,000 is now 120,000 times 5. Tell him electricity tariff from just normal tariff, now you have to pay times 5 before you can get electricity. Now, remind him that a dollar exchange or Naira exchange rate in the market from 400 to 600 is now 1,004 times 5. Now, remind him that ever since he took over office, remind him that fuel price that was 200 is now 900 or 1,002 times 5. Remind him that his wife, all the first lady in Nigeria normally don't have office, except his wife, who money is also allocated to her office, times 5, like receiving big, huge amounts to work in her office, times 5. Remind him that it is the first president to build a house, private house for vice president with billions of naira, times 5. Remind him that he's the first president in the entire earth that could take treasury money from Nigeria or any country account and give to one religion to go to Saudi Arabia and pray 90 billion times 5. Tell him he's the only president that have a private jet and his people are hungry who think that, okay, what he needs now is to buy another extra private jet times 5. He's the only president in the entire world who sought to buy a yacht when the economy is not stable times 5. He's the only president now who is taking extra billions for himself, for the Senate, and increasing the Senate and the chief judge who help him to ring election a salary into times 5. He's the only person whose family is taking this presidential position as a family business times 5. Now, his daughter is the Yaloja of market women. Normally, market women, Yaloja, supposed to be an elder woman who have been in the market, who understand the market, who controls the market. The daughter, who is from nowhere, never trade, is now the Yaloja of Lagos. Now, times 5. Now, he's asking, you don't know how we get here. I'm just trying to remind him, there are a lot of cases, there are a lot of things that how we get here, and I want him to know that he knows exactly how we get here. If he wants to make Nigeria a better place, all he has to do is to reduce fuel price. It takes him nothing because his rational thinking and unbalanced and unnecessary statements brought Nigeria to this mess. Anyway, this is where we're going to be ending the video today. If there is any other update about this protest, definitely I will be here. But what interests us right now is how to get Nigeria to a better place and how we can seek justice to Nigerians and how Nigeria could be more better and save Nigeria from the hands of APC. We love you guys. Until we meet again, stay tuned and peace out.
As I address you today, I am deeply aware of the struggles many of you face in these challenging times. Our administration knows that many of you struggle with rising costs and the search for meaningful employment. I want to assure you that your voices are heard. As your president, I assure you that we are committed to finding sustainable solutions to alleviate the suffering of our citizens. Once again, I plead for your patience as the reforms we are implementing show positive signs, and we are beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Exactly 64 years ago, our founding fathers chose democracy as a form of government and launched the dream of a great country that will lead the rest of Africa out of poverty, ignorance, and underdevelopment. A beacon of hope for the rest of Africa and the world. Over 6 decades later, we can look back and Nigerians worldwide can see how well we have succeeded in realizing the lofty dream of our founding fathers. The world is witnessing and benefiting from the can-do spirit of Nigerian people, our massive intellectual capacity, and our enterprise and industry in all vocations, from art to science, technology to infrastructure. The dreams that our founding fathers envisaged are still work in progress. Every day, we put our hands on the plow, determined to do a better job of it. While it is tempting to focus on what has been left undone and where we have stumbled as a nation, we must never lose sight of how far we have come in forging and holding our country together. Since independence, our nation has survived many crises and upheavals that led to the dissolution and disintegration of many other nations worldwide. 6 years after independence, our country descended into a political crisis that led to a bitter and avoidable civil war. Since returning from the brink of that darkest moment, we have learned to embrace our diversity and manage our differences better as we continue to work towards engendering a more perfect union. Despite the many challenges that buffeted our country, we remain a strong, united, and viable sovereign nation.